welcome back to the channel. My name's Clyde and this is my first video with the OP-1. About 10 years too late, but most synth people know about the release of the OP-1 field, and people who know me will know that I love the Casio CZs. The CZs have some crazy 8-stage envelopes that you can use to make anything you want with the pitch, the filter, the modulation, and a lot of times people use it to make delays. So I've been thinking about buying an OP-1 field, so I got one of the OGs to test out first. And while I was sitting on the couch messing around, I found a cool trick to get a new delay using the same principles as the Casio CZ. This will just be a quick raw audio video shot on my iPhone, but I'll put a jam at the end with the audio coming through Ableton. I just wanted to get this trick out there and show you how it works. So let's check out the delays. We're gonna do a blind test and I'll flip between my delay trick and the delay that comes with the OP-1. This is the patch that we're working with. And now the blind test. So which one did you prefer? The OP-1 delay works, it sounds good, but it is really dependent on the sound that you're working with. It can have a particular sound, which isn't always desirable, but it does work great. The other drawback is you can only have one effect per instrument on the OP-1, so you can't do reverb and delay like most people would want to do. But with this trick now, and the new mother reverb on OP-1 field, you can combine it to do reverb and delay on the same instrument. So let's take a look at the OP-1 delay. This is the screen that you see. You have your feedback, your speed, your input level, and then these blue rings will determine your repeats. So I'll play it again here. You can see that the repeats aren't very defined and it has a really kind of high pitch ring to it. As the tail is fading away, you can really hear the ringing. So now the big reveal. What's the trick? Well, it's in the tremolo LFO. These are the settings that I'm working with right now. And the benefit to using the tremolo LFO for delay is that it's more full sounding and you can control the repeat shape. So right now we have it on square, so you'll have pretty defined repeats. You can also control if the delays repeats are fading in or fading out. I have it fading in right now so that the initial attack of the note is more defined. You can also modulate the pitch of the note, sort of like a tape delay, and you have a ton of control over the speed. Just a nice, clean, full sounding delay. So let's check out a couple different shapes. You have the slanted sawtooth. It sort of sounds like the repeats are fading in every time. You have the standard sawtooth. That makes the repeats a little less pokey, like the square wave would be, so it can be a bit more subtle that way. And you also have the sine wave. Almost like a delay with reverb on it because the repeats are smoothly blending into each other, but this is more like a tremolo and less like a delay. You can also adjust the level of the repeats by turning up the volume of the tremolo. We'll go back to a square wave. Very noticeable there, but if we go down again to 25, 30, 20, it's almost like a mix control. So let's talk about the setup. The one thing that you will need to do is add a bit of release to the end of whatever patch you're working with. So when you pluck the note, it doesn't just stop right away, then you won't have any repeats. And preferably you want a plucky beginning to the sound, which is why my decay is so steep and the sustain is lower. That way, every time you play a note, the beginning of the note is defined and then the release can act like the delay. So we'll turn the LFO back on. And now you can see if I mess with my envelope, make the release longer, make the attack a bit shorter. kind of a crazy delay. So it's really a mixture between the envelope of your sound and the tremolo LFO. This can also be used on chords, like if you're doing a keys patch or something, but the only difference is that when you're holding down sustained notes, the tremolo will still be going, so the repeats will sound louder than a normal delay would, because a normal delay will just kind of repeat the transients and then you'll just have a little bit of washy tails at the end. But with this, it still works. One thing you can do when playing chords with this delay trick is actually just automate it yourself while you're playing. It can be a little bit difficult, but if you're playing some basic chord progressions, you just strike the chord and then at the end of the chord, raise it up, bring it back down like this. But I do find that it works best on plucky sounds. And now just for fun, we'll mess around with the envelope and the pitch control. So we'll make the envelope fade out. This works better with a bit of a longer release. You don't need that much. But this way the repeats will be more prominent at the beginning and fade out as they go. I do prefer it with the upward slant on this sound. That way the beginning of the note has more definition. And lastly, we'll add some more pitch modulation to it. This will kind of sound like a broken cassette delay or tape delay almost. The cool thing is it kind of has a chorusing because the pitch is modulating at the same time that you're playing. Okay, so one final comparison between this delay trick and the stock delay that comes in the OP-1. The stock delay definitely has more of a unique sound, more of a characterful effect, but this LFO delay trick works really well for a more subtle, full sounding delay. Anyways, thanks for checking the video out. If you found this trick useful, please like and subscribe. Growth for the channel helps, and I'd love to have you guys around. So remember, keep making music if you love to do it. Enjoy the jam and the rest of your day. See you in the next one.